to say that I'm not making a prediction because I'm not at all interested in the Yoshiyuki Yoshida versus Mike Gumman match. Just not interested in that. John Slater versus Jason MacDonald. Jason MacDonald is 24 and 13. He's on a 3-fight win streak, but this is his first time back since he was cut from the UFC as part of a 2-loss streak. He then went on to make it 3, but that was after he was outside the institution. So this is his first time back since then. He's got 18 submission wins, loses by decision. His losses are to the likes of Demian Maia and Yoshin Okami. John Salter is the person he's up against, 4 and 1, so there's a big discrepancy there. He's lost by TKO to Gerald Harris, but other than that he wins by TKO and submission. His biggest name is Jeremiah Riggs. You might know who is or was a hit squad fighter. I don't quite understand why this match is going on, because I think that basically he's just going to get smushed, isn't he? Poor John. So I'm going to go for Jason by submission. I'll go for a bar submission in the first there. Tim Hague is fighting Joey Beltran. Joey Beltran calls himself the Mexicutioner. Very, very funny. Anyway, he's got a record of 11 and 3. Wins by TKO, he's got 10 of them. But he's never been TKO'd himself. Loses usually by decision. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Wins over the likes of Houston Alexander and Sherman Pendergast. Loses to Tony Lopez, he's lost to him twice. Tim Hague, 10 and 3. He also wins by TKO. He's never been submitted. He's coming off 2 losses in a row though. His last win I think was Patrick Barry, who is a sucker punch fighter. So this is going to be a stand-up war. 2 losses in a row versus a 2-fight win streak. I think I'm actually going to go here for Joey Beltran. I think I am. I'll go for TKO in the third there. TJ Grant is facing Johnny Hendricks. Grant has a record of 15 and 3. He's got 12 submission victories. Loses by decision. But his only win, real win, is over Chad Rayner that I could see in terms of calibre. Johnny Hendricks has a perfect record of 7, wins by TKO, and his biggest win is over Amir Sadola. So they're sort of pretty evenly matched, these two, by the looks of it. It is still, I feel, going to be groundsman versus stand-up here. I think I'm probably going to go for TJ Grant. I'll go for submission. I'll go for a bar submission in the third. There. Okay, Marcus Davis, you'll remember the Irish hand grenade, or, well, of Irish descent anyway. He is fighting Jonathan Goulet, who is Canadian, I believe. Now this is Goulet's first fight since 2008. Interesting that. And he is coming in fact off a loss to Mike Swick, if you can remember, as far back as Fight for the Troops. His record despite that is 22 and 10. He's got 11 TKO victories, 8 submission victories, but he also loses by TKO. He's got 7 of them. Marcus Davis, 16 and 6. His main win is by submission, believe it or not, but he's known for his stand-up as well. Loses by decision. He's coming off 2 losses in a row after having his brain scrambled, I think, with Dan Hardy and all the mental games that were going on there. His losses are to Dan Hardy and Mike Swick. Wins over the likes of Pete Spratt and Chris Little. Do you know, I would have gone for Jonathan Goulet had he been up to date with fighting. But I think this could be a comeback for Marcus Davis. I'll go for TKO in the... No, I won't. I'll go for decision. Joe Dawson is fighting Tom Lawler. Joe Dawson's got a stupid record, 44 and 12. He's got 32 submission wins, but he loses by submission. He's on a 5-fight win streak. This is his first fight back since a 3-fight loss streak, which included 1 in WEC and 2 in the UFC back in 2008. But he has been fighting since. Tom Lawler is 6-2, wins mostly by submission. He's coming off a loss to Aaron Simpson. I'll go for Tom Lawler, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong there. Patrick Cote is fighting Alan Belcher. Belcher is 15-6. He's got 8 wins by submission, but loses by decision. He's a bit of a mixed bag, really, because his record is loss, win, win, loss, win. Patrick Cote, you know, this is his first fight back since 2008 when he lost against Anderson Silva. Alan Belcher on this one, but I'm not quite sure how. Kimbo Slice is facing Matt Mitrione. This is a fascinating fight. I think this will be fight of the night, this next one. This is Sam Stout versus Jeremy Stephens. Sam Stout 15-5, Jeremy Stephens 16-5. Sam Stout wins by TKO, so does Jeremy Stephens. He's got 12 of them. Stout loses by decision. Jeremy loses mainly by submission. His record is a little bit dodgy, sometimes is Stephens. Loss, win, loss, loss, win. He generally tends to lose to all the calibers he faces, with the exception of Cole Miller. And Sam Stout is, I think, sort of a caliber of that level, so it's not a dead cert that he's going to lose here. Sam Stout's had much more luck with calibers. He's won over the likes of Joe Lozon and Matt Wiman, but he's lost to Rich Clemente. It was a split decision, I think. He has been winning by decision recently for the last few years, but he's still known really for his stand-up war, and I think this is going to be a stand-up war, and I am going to go, I think, with Jeremy Stephens winning this one. But I think this could probably go either way. But I'm going to go for Jeremy Stephens. I do think this will be fight of the night if both of them are on the ball. Josh Koscheck versus Paul Daly. You know, this is a very simple one. The Americans have yet to figure out that Paul Daly and his weakness is the ground game. Take him down and he can be submitted, but don't stand with him, because if you stand with him you can't win. Josh Koscheck has the skills to win by submission on the ground. My biggest fear with him, as has been with all the others who are grapplers or stand-up artists or whatever, is that they are going to think that they can beat him on his feet. And I think this could be devastating if Paul Daly wins, because then he's going to get a title shot as possibly a little bit of a fraud. Not completely, but his ground game hasn't been tested in the UFC. I think it has big holes in it. I do think that in the end Josh Koscheck will probably try and stand with him, and it will probably be, you know, the end of that. So I'll go for Paul Daly on the understanding that Josh Koscheck is going to stand with him. But if Josh Koscheck were to take him down, I think it would suddenly reverse the fortunes there very quickly. It's the Shogun and the Dragon rematch. There we are. You know, my one worry about this is that Lyoto has seen now what Rua has planned, and he has had months to come up with a defence for that. If he's as good as he has been in the past, he should be able to win now just by defending leg kicks and the likes. And for that reason, I'm probably going to go with Lyoto winning. I do think the biggest fraud was that they didn't award the winning to Rua last time, I have to say. But c'est la vie, and those are my predictions.